Song. Hello.
Hello.
For half a second there, I thought I fucked it up like I normally do, and I thought it
Yeah.
wasn't capturing the Discord audio, but
Oh.
it is. We're good. Everything's fine.
We're good.
Everything's
Audio's
fine.
working.
Yeah.
Everything's going as it should.
I'm so used to there at least being one thing wrong as soon as we start, because that's the fucking norm. So,
Weird when everything goes right.
It's more unusual when everything goes right. But anyways, yeah. So we made it this week.
We're here. Two of us are here.
Yeah, there's still only two of us. Apologies for anybody who was looking forward to last week's episode. I was exhausted and I was falling asleep in my chair at 9:00, and then Tim was sick, and Tim is once again sick. So that's just kind of
pray for him.
Yeah, it's hopefully he sounds better. Dude, I really wish we had set up a way to like show that video.
Oh, that would have been a fun idea.
Yeah. If we would get on here and set up earlier than like an hour before we're supposed to be on here, or 30 minutes, would have been fun to fucking put together. So, anyways,
next time.
Yeah, next time. Anyways, Justin, what have you been playing the past couple weeks?
Well, I celebrated another year of life, and I celebrated it by hating myself by installing and playing League of Legends.
No, you fucking didn't, dude.
Yes, I did. Yes, I've been playing Pokemon Unite for quite a while, and none of my friends will play it with me, so a lot of them do play League, and I thought, you know what? All right, I will dive in. I will try it out.
Right.
And it's been fine so far. I've only played like 2 or 3 matches. Definitely a steep learning curve, and the controls are stupid. The controls are so stupid. And why can't you use a controller? It doesn't let you use a controller at all unless you use some third-party program and maybe get banned. I have no idea. But very uncomfortable controls that I really need to remap.
What the fuck? Can you remap them?
Yeah, you can rebind them to other keys and stuff.
I thought you were going to say you weren't allowed to remap them, and I was about to lose my mind.
Dude.
I was about to be like, fucking computer game in 2023, and you can't remap the controls? That's what I thought you were about to say. That.
Dude, computer game in 2023, we'll get to some of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, League of Legends, it's kind of fun. One of my friends was kind of coaching me. Well, 2 of my friends were kind of coaching me. But one of them talked about how after Arcane came out, there was a huge influx of players who were like, oh, that's such a cool world. I love these characters. And then they got in the game. They were like,
what the
wow,
fuck?
It's awful here.
Yeah.
I made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I'm never going to play this again. Which was kind of funny because like I was like, oh, cool. It's Heimerdinger from Arcane.
Yeah.
And then I murdered him, and that was great.
That's all I can think about when you say that.
Such a goofy name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know they're coming out with another game?
Another League of Legends brand game?
Well, spin-off, right? Not a MOBA.
Right.
But it's about New. I'm not familiar with it.
Is that the snow guy?
Yeah, he's got like a fucking Yeti or something that he rides or some shit.
Yeah, that game looks kind of cute. Yeah,
I
remember seeing that. There was like that and something else. I can't remember what the other one was.
Yeah, they've come out with a couple of them. I think that's one of the cooler things about League of Legends, right? One, that League of Legends is completely spawned out of Warcraft 3. I tell people that don't know that, and they are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You know what I mean? Like
Warcraft 3 started it all.
It did. It really. You know what? I had a coworker of mine. He's a little bit older than me, but he invited me. Him and his group of friends invited me to play Smite at some point. Apparently, they play Smite like every night. And they have since like the alpha. Like they got into like the alpha.
Wow.
They've been playing that game for fucking ever.
They love it.
Yeah, and I was like, MOBAs aren't really my thing, but I normally play them by myself, so maybe they're more exciting. with a group of people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, just fucking cussing and shit and just screaming at each other. They're gonna be like, Kody, why the fuck can't you play this game? Like, I already know how it's just gonna go.
What the fuck? Why are you feeding bottom lane? It's like you've never played before.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, bro, I haven't played a MOBA Smite, yeah.
Smite just did a crossover with RuneScape. They're RuneScape characters in Smite right now.
No way.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's crazy. I know Smite's been around for a long time, and I had another one of my coworkers play literally played the living shit out of Smite. Like he's like, I have over 1,000 hours. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I don't. I probably someone I know probably has played it, but I don't really know anything about it.
Right. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack what you were talking about with League of Legends and whatnot, but yeah.
No, I think we got it all. Yeah. I think we covered League.
So
I've yet to hit the Salt, but I'm sure it'll come.
That's what you did for your birthday?
That was something I did on my birthday, yeah.
That is. You tortured yourself for your birthday. I just
let that be a clear message as to my current mental state.
Oh my god.
What have you been playing, man? What's new with you?
So I haven't. I have played a couple games. But the main thing I've been doing is some Steam Deck emulation here. I got the itch like last week. And like I've always wanted to really emulate, but I didn't really have a good way to transfer files, so I finally bit the bullet and got one of these babies. The 2 terabyte.
What is that?
It's a 2 terabyte SSD or whatever, and it has a USB-C. It has a USB-C plug-in, and it comes with an adapter to plug into the PC, kind of thing. So like, get my ROMs, put them on this baby, plug this baby into the Steam Deck, kind of thing, and
you just transfer them over, or do you have to play them off of that?
No, I just transfer them over onto, because the great thing about emulation, right, is you like the games are so small, right? So you can like I think I have like a 500 or 512 gigabyte micro SD in my Steam Deck, and I have like 30 PlayStation games or whatever, and I have
the old games are so small.
Yeah, and I have like Xbox games. I got one of each generation of every Pokemon game. Like,
nice.
Like I just got all of it, right? And I'm still looking for like more to download, right? Because it's just like I want to make this thing like basically this like my emulation machine. I can go back and play games that don't require me to play or buy microtransactions. So like I just get the fucking game. I just get the game.
Good old days.
Oh my god, dude! Like it's amazing. I'm playing Burnout 3. Burnout 3 runs so well, right? So I've played Burnout 3. I've played Drakengard. I don't know if you remember that one. I have.
Yes, that was Drakengard. Was that what led to the Platinum Games with the robot lady? Was that what came before that?
Bayonetta? I think it is.
No, not Bayonetta. The other one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about like the timeline there. I remember.
Yeah,
I just remember playing that Drakengard or Drakengard. I call it Drakengard. Anyways, I remember playing that as a kid, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I want this." And then I didn't know they came out with a second one, so I got both of those.
Oh shit!
I have Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. I haven't started any of those yet. I don't know how well they work. I haven't tried them. I got like the original God of War, but then I took it a step further. I was like, "This is so much fun," but what if I could play it on my TV?
Oh shit!
I bit the bullet again, and I bought the Steam Deck dock. Or whatever.
Look at you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm excited. Like, it's like, oh, it won't show up for like 2 weeks. I was like, fuck, man, that's forever. And I looked at some alternatives. There are some really... So, the Steam Deck dock is like $95 with taxes, right?
Is that like an official Steam thing?
Yeah, it's an official Steam thing. And the reason why I ended up going with that instead of getting a cheaper one, which RetroArch has some really good videos comparing some of them out there, because there's one of those docks that you can buy that has an M.2 slot in the dock. So like you could if you just wanted to use that dock as like an emulation thing, you could just load all your emulation and all those ROMs, and you just plug the dock in, and you could just plug the deck into the dock, and then you could just run it on your TV, and that could just be what that thing is. I really thought about getting that, but I just didn't. It's just too expensive. You end up spending like $190 after getting the dock itself, and then getting like an M.2 or whatever. So, but anyways, yeah. So but the reason why I ended up going with the Steam Deck, the official Steam version, is because like they're pushing updates. It's going to support FreeSync and like other things in the future. And so, like, it's going to grow with the deck kind of thing. And I was like, that's just probably better. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not super big. I don't know. But yeah. So
yeah, how does it work exactly? Is it like the Switch dock where it cradles your Steam Deck and then you have a different controller that you use?
Yeah. So you can hook up any controller. You can Bluetooth connect any controller to your Steam Deck, right? I checked it out. So I was like, I got Xbox controllers galore. Like, I literally bought this Elite controller specifically to play on my PC, and then my wife has one to use with the Xbox console, so we weren't switching back and forth all the time. And so like I know that'll connect, and it does cradle. But the weird thing about the deck, remember, I don't know if I know you don't have one, but remember the power, the USB-C port is on the top. So it has this weird thing where like it'll have a USB-C port on the back, and then it curves up, plugs into the top. And unlike your normal Switch, because the plug-in's on the bottom, you slide it into the USB. You know what I mean? So that's like the big difference. The other big difference is that the Steam Deck, the official Steam Deck dock, supports DVI. No, and HDMI, while most other docks only support HDMI. So I could also use it to hook up to a monitor and that kind of thing. So.
Nice.
It's just, and then it's just cool. And the other big reason I bought it is because it comes with a Steam Deck charger, so I won't have to take my charger that I already have for the Steam Deck, because you have to have like a certain, I don't remember what the wattage is, but you have to, like, the charger, you can't just get any USB-C charger and charge your Steam Deck. You have to get one with a certain wattage. If you plug in one that doesn't push enough, it'll tell you, like, slow charging. Like, this isn't going to charge the Steam Deck. Like, find a different one. So there's a lot of advantages for me, anyways. And yeah, man, because I was like, man, I want to play Burnout 3 on the fucking TV, man. Like, why not? You know what I mean? I was like, well, I want to play Drakengard on the TV. Like, why not? You know?
What was that one game that you always talked? Was it Legend of Dragoon?
Yes, I've played through most of the first disc of Legend of Dragoon on the Steam
Excellent.
Deck. But I also bought the PS5 version. It's ported, right? It's still the old version. Yeah, they ported it to the PS5. So I have options there, kind of thing. But they don't do that. Like, PlayStation doesn't do that for a lot of the games. It's like PS2 is their best system. I think it is still the best selling console ever. Total units. I think, I could be wrong. It could have been overtaken by the Switch or the Wii. But
I think the Wii is the top seller.
Yeah. So, but either way, there's just like so many good games in that era, you know. So the only one I've been disappointed by, because I have like Dark Alliance 2, that I downloaded, and that runs really well. The only one I've downloaded that runs, like, it'll run, but it runs slow. I haven't figured out how to get it to run faster, is NFL Street 3. Like, it just, like, it'll be fine on, like, the menus and stuff and everything, but then when you actually get to, like, running a play, it, like, slows down, and I haven't figured that out yet. But anyways, yeah. So I've been emulating, like,
Tim in the chat. Hi, nerds.
We are
Hi,
nerds.
Tim.
We are definitely nerds.
Or should I say, hi, Tim? That's what Tim sounds like right now.
Dude, he's going to do his Amon Amarth fucking...
Yeah. Death metal Tim.
Yeah, 100%. So, but yeah, that's really what I've been doing. Oh my god, I cleared all my fucking
beauty.
I cleared my history, like my browsing history recently, just because like just bogging shit down, or just, you know, you need to get it done. And now I haven't re-logged into everything yet. You know what I mean? It's just like,
no,
it's the worst.
It's like going back in time, man.
It really is. So anyways,
what you mean?
But speaking about old games, we were talking before the show. I've been seeing you play RuneScape, man, and I'm kind of interested. So sell me on RuneScape, because I know people play the fuck out of it, and they've been playing the fuck out of it for forever.
Yeah.
But how does it continue to draw people in? Like 20 something years later, it feels like. I don't know how.
The thing about RuneScape is it has what you might call good game design.
Oh,
Pretty rare.
these days, for
You don't
sure.
see a lot of that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that really sets RuneScape apart from other games, and to be clear, we're talking old school RuneScape,
Yeah.
which is RuneScape came out originally in 2001, which is what people would call RuneScape Classic now. And it was a Java-based game that you could play on your browser. You and all your friends would play it in school until it got banned because teachers were like, y'all are obsessed with this. This is like crack cocaine for you. You need to stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get all your friends addicted to it. You convince your parents to buy a computer for RuneScape. Game takes along. Eventually, it goes into like 3D. They update it to have 3D visuals.
Right.
And the game continued to be popular after I quit playing. And it got to a point where they eventually did RuneScape 3, is what it's known as, but it's also just known as RuneScape. And that came out, and it's like a whole different game than what I would call old school RuneScape, which is like a split, right? You've got RuneScape 3, which is like what they thought was going to be their bread and butter.
Yeah.
But they also kept old school RuneScape because people were like, yeah, we still like this version. We want to play this. There's always those holdouts, but there were a lot of people who wanted to play old school. And so they developed both of them in tandem. And now I would say like old school RuneScape is probably more popular than RuneScape 3, if I were to fathom a guess. But here's what's cool about it. It's an MMO where you aren't restricted by anything. You make your character. You want to be a miner? Pick up a pickaxe, go mine, level up your mining. You want to be a woodcutter? Pick up an axe, go do your woodcutting. It's skill based, so you can just do whatever you want whenever you want. And I think the thing that really keeps me playing the game and coming back to it is honestly some of the funniest video game dialogue I've ever had. It was in RuneScape, man.
Just like
it
talking
is
to
so
other people.
fucking funny. Yep. Well, NPCs.
Oh, okay.
The dialogue for like the quests and just the random NPC dialogue in the game is always super funny. Like I did a quest today, right? I just started a quest in like the very beginning area of the game. And there's a newbie starter quest that you do there in this castle. You have to like, it teaches you how to make a cake, right? Like it teaches you about the cooking skill. You go get some flour, get some like berries or something, make a cake, bada bing, bada boom.
Right.
And then you go back and you talk to the cook again. And you're like, hey, do you have any more quests for me? And he's like, yeah, actually I do. I'm missing these ingredients for a cake for the king. And you're like, that's what you told me last time. We already did that. We made a cake for the king. And the dude's like, yeah, actually, yeah, that's not true. I was just testing you, man. I was just testing you to see if you were like trustworthy. And just like goes into this whole spiel about how he needs your help. And your character has funny dialogue options like, okay, I'll help you with the quest. Okay, what do you mean it's not the king's birthday? Or the funny dialogue option was like, how do you still have a job, dude? You don't even know how to cook. What the fuck?
That's funny.
Yeah, so there really is a lot of very funny dialogue. Kody, yeah, you've never played RuneScape, right?
So I've heard about RuneScape my entire life. But I didn't have, so in elementary school I didn't have a group of friends that played it.
Okay.
So I think that's probably part of it. This is gonna be, I hate saying this. I played like Neopets and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, right there with you.
Okay,
I'm right there with you, man. I played Neopets as well.
Yeah, so
nothing but respect.
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing like Neopets and shit. I think I've established that I've always had I seem to have always had like kind of a thing for monster catching games and stuff like that. Like I just kind of like that. And I didn't really like the first MMO I really remember playing was I probably played a little bit of EverQuest in my dad's account. Played some Dark Age of Camelot back in the day. I don't know if I've
hell yeah.
I don't know if I've told you about this. So my dad, when I was a kid, he had an alternate character that was a healer. and I'll never forget this because when I play games with my family, I generally end up with the healer, and we all trace
Right.
it back to like this moment. So he had an alternate character that was a healer, and I'll never forget my dad and my uncle were defending a keep, right? But it was
Yep.
just those two. Their guild mates weren't on yet, and they were like, "Hey, our guild members will be on in like 30 or 45 minutes. We need you to play as this character. Sit in the keep, right? When one of us dies, you will come out. You will click on us, hit this button, and you will go back in." And so I did that for like 30 or 45 minutes. I'm just out there rezzing them, right? So they can keep these guys like off of them until the other guildmates showed up. And I can't even remember how that like ended up turning out. But I'll never forget
Right.
doing that. So those are the kind of MMOs that I played when I was like a kid. It's like that's kind of what I was doing, like, and not that Neopets is
Yeah.
an MMO, but I feel like that's the same time frame ish. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. These are all games that were kind of around that era. Yeah. You mentioned EverQuest. Actually, right now, original EverQuest is going through like a huge renaissance.
Yeah.
There are a lot of these servers that are like fresh start EverQuest servers where it
Yeah.
starts with just the base game and you can just go emulate it. Everyone can just play on it. They're player run things.
Yeah.
And they're doing this thing where you start with the base game and they are going to roll out all of the expansions, but like over a long space of time. So it sort of simulates the real kind of phases of the game, which I
Right.
thought was really cool. A lot of people talking about EverQuest right now.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you mentioned it, I think I did see something about that. And you know what? That would be kind of cool to get. That'd be kind of cool to get the ground level on, right? Because that was kind of like outside
Yeah,
of
it's
RuneScape,
interesting.
it's like the original MMO, and it was also way more brutal. Like
Yes,
if you
absolutely
fucking die,
brutal.
like good luck. Like you got to run back to your body. Like you don't
The
have none of
corpse
your shit.
runs.
And it wasn't even like, oh, you just gotta get to or well, World of Warcraft had it. It was like, but you were a ghost, right? And you'd go back to your body.
Yeah.
No, EverQuest was like, I hope you make it because if you don't, you lose all of that.
Oh, it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, because you'd be
Yeah.
naked and you'd be running back to your corpse, right? And then if you die on the way, like that's it, dude. Like
Interesting.
you're fucked. So yeah, I remember playing a little bit of that. I could be wrong because obviously this is fucking like I'm 30
Sure,
now.
yeah.
I was probably like 9. Like, you know.
Definitely MMOs then were generally far more hardcore than
Yeah.
your general MMO now,
Yeah.
I would say.
Unless
I
you're
got to
playing,
catch
like,
up on
hard-
chat here. Tim was talking about how apparently old school RuneScape runs good on the Steam Deck, so that's another positive
Yes,
there.
Yes.
He's not sure if RuneScape will click for you or not. The nostalgia factor is strong. Tim, I'm going to say Justin Holmes never played RuneScape in his life until like a year or two ago. And now he's got like 70s in every stat. He fucking loves that game, having
that-
never played it in the
Is that
past.
the max stat? Is that the max?
No,
stat?
no. 99 is the maximum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't there a thing recently where some guy like maxed out every stat and then got his account hacked or some shit like that?
Oh, yeah, there's a controversy. There's like this streamer who played RuneScape, and he was doing this thing where he used his viewers to like get one of like every item in the game or something. He was building like this like living collection or some shit, and he got hacked. And he was just talking about it on stream, how he lost his account. He was really sad about it. And someone from Jagex reached out to him
Yeah.
and reinstated his items, which everyone was super mad about because, first of all, that never happens. Jagex never gives you your shit back. Like,
Right.
no matter how many appeals you make, it just doesn't happen. It's unheard of, pretty much.
Yeah.
And on top of that, this guy didn't even have two-factor set up for his account to protect it.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Literally absolute moron. Deserved nothing. But yeah, apparently he saw all of this blowback, and so he like had a drop party and gave everything back away, and no one fucking cared. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
rip
the
that
thing.
guy.
I think the thing I'm thinking of was different. Wasn't there a dude
Okay.
who upgraded every skill but did everything as a pacifist? Like never killed anybody or something like that? And
I don't know
upgraded
because
all-
they're there's certain types of accounts, like there's Iron Man accounts, right? Where they cannot do any trading with other players. Everything they get has to be obtained from just playing the game and like killing monsters and shit.
Okay.
And then there are like hardcore versions where if you die,
You die.
that's it.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah. So maybe it was something like that. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, but RuneScape these days kind of reminds me of Eve, right? Eve Online or whatever, where it's just like you have this persistent player base and like these stories just kind of evolve out of it. Maybe not as much as like Eve,
Yes.
but like
there's actually, there's a really cool story recently where in RuneScape there are different servers, and every server is the same basically, but some of them are themed or have certain restrictions, like you need so much, like you have a total level, right? So like you have like woodcutting, blah, 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 you add it all up. So you can only go to certain worlds. Anyway, there's a world where players just organically started doing this mini game where you like you run into this building, distract a guard, steal something, and like run around. It's just a thieving mini game to increase your thieving skill.
Yeah.
And players figured out that if you get enough bodies in there running the mini game at the same time, it kind of like breaks the logic. Yeah. And you've got like 500 people streaming through this place, and one person is getting caught, and everyone else gets away scot-free, just juicing their XP. Wow. So on Reddit, people have been talking about it, and it's just like they've got like all these funny phrases made. Like I don't understand any of them. They call it squirking. What are you doing tonight? Oh, going squirking with the boys. I don't get it, but it sounds. I love that it's a phrase that people are using now.
Right.
And it's that kind of like weird organic thing that you only could see happen in an MMO.
Right.
You'd love to see it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's, and once again, I think I've talked about it before. You know, I'm always kind of on the hunt for like that kind of forever game. I want a game that like I can just continuously come back to, right? You know what I mean? That is in more of an MMO type space, you know? But I still haven't found it. I was hoping Diablo was going to be it, and Diablo on launch was fun. Like I had a good time with it. The end game was a little iffy. I was hoping for better. But honestly, I meant to mention this earlier with the RuneScape and RuneScape 3 that you were talking about. You know what that reminds me of right now is Path of Exile, because Path of Exile is about to do the same thing where they're not getting rid of the old game. They're just diverging, and so with Path of Exile too. So that reminds me a lot of that. And honestly, I think I've played some Path of Exile, and I don't know why that game doesn't click with me as much. Maybe Path of Exile 2 will, kind of thing. Because I've played, I don't know, I'm like I'm somewhere in between like 30 and 50. I can't remember. I know it's a large gap, but somewhere in there. So I put a little bit of time in it, and
it's very Diablo-like.
I think the biggest thing that connects that I really liked about Diablo 4 is they nailed the aesthetic. Like just fucking nailed it, dude. Like the world is great, and they just can't get the content right. And it's like fuck. Cuz like the base story is great. Like I really like it. And there's obviously room for like an eventual DLC, right? You know what I mean? That's not like the seasons and shit. But man, like even the new, like I don't know if you saw this, their player count, like their viewership level on fucking Twitch was down to like 17 viewers, or like 7.
Yikes, dude!
And it used to be like 100,000 or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Like, the peak was just nuts.
Yeah, dude, because there's
the pinnacle.
Yeah, rock bottom, man, and it's just like fuck, man. Like I don't know. But anyways, I think I'm gonna try some RuneScape here.
Yeah, definitely give it a whirl. See how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you like it. Tim said it's fucking weird that we've been talking about MMOs because he's been watching MMO reviews and looking for one to play since Friday.
Oh, Tim
RuneScape, Tim.
Yeah, it might be RuneScape. Honestly, nostalgia.
It's not going to be Mortal Online 2. I'll tell you that.
Is it bad? I didn't really like Mortal Online.
Dude, it's just like Mortal Online. All the same problems, all the same bullshit.
Yeah. But speaking of MMOs, we can talk about Bungie and their. I mean, obviously, this isn't just Bungie at this point. I think I saw something and I could be totally misquoting this, but I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet come out that like 100,000 people collectively have been let go in the games industry this year or something like that.
Yeah, there have been layoffs all across the industry.
There's layoffs all across the industry, but today we're going to focus a little bit on Bungie. Bungie cut 10% of its staff, including like long time, like people that have worked there since 1997. Which
dude, yeah, what is that composer's name?
Yeah, he was a composer,
Salvatore or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I saw that news, and it was so funny. I saw people raging about Bungie firing the guy who does the music for Halo, and I was like, "What? They fired him a long time ago." They're talking about Marty O'Donnell, but no, they've done it again. The same thing.
You know what?
God,
I really
incredible.
what I really like about the composer guy. I guess he has like his own website that talk like for his music and stuff like that. And he used to have like descriptions and stuff of Destiny and all this other stuff because he's made music for it. And then he updated it, and all it says is "gone fishing." Now that he now he got laid off, and I was just like, bro, like that's a perfect analogy because like when you just randomly get laid off.
Salvatore, thanks to him.
Yeah. Michael Salvatore. Like, yeah, man, you know what? Like, and Skillip brought this up, but I didn't really think about this. So I heard all this on Skillip's roundup this week. That dude in particular was probably getting ready to retire. And that's probably why they laid him off, right? You got to think 97, it's 2023. Like, you're right. Like, you're at like 30 years, what is it, 30 years, something like that, or whatever. So, like, that's fucking, I don't know. Yeah, but that happens sometimes if you don't have like protections and stuff with seniority and whatnot. Even the military has a sanctuary rule, so they can't, like, if you make it to 19 years, they or maybe it's like 18 and a half, they can't med board you. Like, you have to like kill somebody to get kicked out at that point or whatever because you've done so much time. So you like obviously Bungie doesn't have a rule like that. But yeah, so the going theory is why Bungie cut 10% of its staff is that Sony basically gave them a target like, hey, you need to save this much money from your company. How you do that is completely up to you. But this is where we need to be, kind of thing. And so Bungie went ahead and did it, and they laid off a lot of people that have worked there for like Salvatore. I already forgot. Fuck. He got let go. There was another female whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. I think she's worked there for like 20 years or something like that. She got let go. Like, they got rid of like
veterans on the team.
Yeah, like real experience, which I think is interesting because like it's like they lined it up because we were talking about this earlier. It's Destiny's at the end. Destiny 2 is at the end. They have one more DLC release. And then that's gonna be it, right? Which, thank fucking God, get Destiny out. Yes, here, right? Like, I'm fucking sick of Destiny. I share that picture in the chat. You got to spend like fucking $550 just to get all the content or whatever the fuck it is. Like, how the fuck are you ever supposed to?
That was such a good example, right? Like, it seems like, you know, what is the management at Bungie doing, man? They're laying all these people off. You look at their Steam page and there's like 20 different purchase options.
Yeah.
And it is very unclear like how you actually get all of the content for the game without buying the same shit twice.
Right. Well, and the other piece of that is like, once again, Skillet brought this up. How the fuck do you have a season pass and it doesn't include that season's dungeon? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like,
you have to buy the keys or whatever.
Right, and I guess like
the joke.
Yeah, the PvP space is entirely dead because they've ignored it for so long. Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't get it. And then on top of all this, the Last of Us multiplayer game that was supposed to come out got put on ice because of all the advice that Bungie gave Sony. Right? Like,
interesting.
It got delayed, right?
I saw somebody in one of my Discords just talking about that game recently, and then someone else had be like, yeah, dude, it's not going to happen anymore.
No, yeah. Well, I don't know if it got canceled or just, like, delayed, right? Because Bungie was like, this isn't good enough. You know what I mean? Like, we need to rework all this stuff, kind of thing. Excuse me again. I'm not sure if that's how that played out, but either way, like, who the fuck is taking advice from Bungie about fucking MMOs? It's like I know it has a good player, like it's had a good player base, but a lot of that resurgence happened when they fucking went free to play.
Free to play.
You know what I mean? They went.
The gunplay is good. The gameplay loop is great, but everything that surrounds it is bad.
Yeah, like that's something you can't fault Bungie for. Is like all their gunplay is fucking fantastic, and that's what I always had
absolutely
hope that Destiny would like rope me in a little bit more, but I just can't. Like once they vaulted, what was it, the Taken King or some shit like that? Some of their content.
Yeah, content that you paid for, like your guns that you like to use. Like,
they're like, yeah, we're gonna take that out. It's just like, what the? Why would I ever give you another dime? It's like the whole Unity fiasco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bungie. I don't know what's going on. I really don't understand what's going on with the industry in general, because like this has been a crazy year for video games.
Yeah, lots of great games this year.
Yeah, and companies are making money like hand over fist with these fucking games because they've all been so good. I really hope we don't look back at this year and be like, oh man, we ate because next year like sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, people might look at that the other way, like, oh hey, I finally have a chance to catch up on the backlog of fucking games that have come out the past 2 years. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just
look at it the bright side, man.
Right. The industry in general has just been letting people go, and I just don't. I guess I just don't understand. I really don't understand that whole piece. So,
yeah, it's a wild, unregulated industry.
It definitely is. Look, you want to talk about unregulation? You see that? Did you see that? This is not to get into this too deep, but did you see that housing market stuff?
No.
Oh yeah. Remind me about that after.
Okay, sure.
Because nobody wants on a video game podcast wants to hear about real estate. Okay.
Unless we're talking about the player-owned housing in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, speaking of Final Fantasy 14, did you see that they're doing a crossover with Fall Guys?
Fall Guys, Andrea was just playing it and showing me. It's so funny, dude.
Is it?
They literally put the Fall Guys games into Final Fantasy 14. It's your characters running around doing the Fall Guys stuff. That's so funny.
That's fucking fantastic.
Their collabs are so good for that game. Absolutely great. Final Fantasy 14, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I see why people pay you money every month.
Yeah. Well, also it's good for Fall Guys because they just let go some of their staff too. So yeah. Like they need the pub a little bit. So
come on, dude.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I can't remember what else we had written down for today. I know
got a couple other things. Oh yeah, you mentioned emulating on your Steam Deck. I just wanted to talk about the Metal Gear Solid collection that came out on Steam.
Yeah.
I was excited for this to come out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, play Metal Gear on my PC. Awesome. I don't have to fuck around with emulating anything. It'll be simple. It'll be great. Here's $60. Give me those games. Mm-hmm. And wow, I think I'm going to refund it because it sucks, man. It fucking sucks trying to play these with absolutely zero PC quality of life at all. I launched Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
And there are no options. There are no options that you would expect from a game in this year. So like you can't mess with the resolution. There are no audio options. You have to just adjust your audio physically on your buttons or like go into your like Windows sound settings to change it. You can't play it like windowed. Like it just goes into full screen. Or if you I do windowed, right? But then it takes up my whole screen and I can't see like the very bottom strip because of my like start menu and shit down there.
Right.
So it just made me really annoyed. Like the game runs fine, the game plays fine, all that's great. But
it's like
it's annoying. It's annoying not being able to alt tab. You go to alt tab and the whole game like freezes and turns black and nothing happens. And then suddenly, it's just it's a mess. I think I would rather just emulate it and be able to alt tab in peace.
Yeah, I always find it funny when like these companies release these games with like literally zero like it's literally a port. And that's it. Like, we didn't do anything else.
Here's the code.
Yeah.
It plays on your computer. The end.
Yeah, that's really all it seems to be.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, though. But, I mean,
Yeah, I was
Emulation.
looking forward to playing these games again. What I think I'll do instead is refund that and buy like 5 indie games that I'm actually excited to play. And I can just play the old Metal Gears on my PlayStation 2 or whatever. We have the exact same collection, but on the PlayStation 2. We have the HD collection on the PS2 already, so we'll just boot it up.
Yeah, you're like, if I really want the nostalgia, I'll just go actually enjoy it, right?
I'll get it from the source, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One good thing I will say about it is they have a lot of cool bonus materials that they added. Like they have the scripts for the games, all of the scripts that were for the games.
Yeah.
And they also have like the different versions of each title. So they have like your like North American version, your PAL version.
Right.
So like from a preservation standpoint, they've actually included a lot of good stuff. But from I want to play this game standpoint,
Right.
Bad job. Bad job.
Bad job.
I'll look forward to the actual Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta remake that they're doing. That should be fun.
Yeah, I think I saw a side-by-side comparison of some of that stuff recently.
Yeah.
Was it like the birds and the frogs and shit or whatever? Did you? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really know which Metal Gear I was looking at. If I'm being honest, I was just like,
yeah. It's the one where you eat animals.
oh yeah. I can see why that's why the animals looking good is probably a big deal in that one. Yeah.
They looking tasty.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you have any other games you think I should emulate, let me know. I've been soliciting because obviously there's gonna be games I don't fucking remember.
I've got one for you off the top of my head right now. You like JRPGs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you played not God, the name escapes me now.
He says right off the top of his head.
Not Chrono Trigger, but Chrono Cross.
No, honestly, I have been. I need to find Chrono Trigger. Right, I haven't found.
Chrono Trigger's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't found Chrono Cross. The other games I was thinking about that you just reminded me of fucking Wild Arms.
Wild Arms.
Yeah.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
Played those as a kid. I didn't like finish any of them, but played those as a kid.
Dude, speaking of Chrono Trigger, I tell you, I quit playing Sea of Stars. I got bored with it.
Did you really?
Yeah, the story just felt kind of juvenile and lame, and the characters got boring to me. Like pretty far in. Like I made it like 3/4 of the way through it, and I was like, I'm good, man.
Really? like. I think after putting that much time into it, you just be like, all right, I just need to just sprint to the end.
No,
you know what I mean?
Cut and run.
Yeah.
I put enough time in.
That's what I did. You know what, speaking of, I think it's one of the few games I beat this year. Smiley, hey, I love you. Go lay down. Get.
Oh, yeah, Tim said him and Logan also did not stay engaged. Got a couple of hours in. Yeah, very pretty. Beautiful aesthetics.
Yeah.
The plot and the characters are, man.
I don't know. I liked the dude who lost his eye in the beginning.
Jarl.
Yeah. I thought he was pretty cool because he's just like, I don't have any powers, but you know what? Well, let's go fuck shit up. Let's fuck everything up like, with my cooking pot lid. Like, I don't know.
Incessant positivity is very fun for the first 3 hours of the game.
Oh, it gets annoying after a while.
It gets pretty bland. But you said you finished the game?
Yeah, Left 4 Dead. No. Was it? No, not Left 4 Dead. Dead Island. That's what it is.
Dead Island. Dead Island. Yeah. The new Dead Island?
Yeah. I didn't finish it recently, but I kind of felt the same, right?
Yeah.
Towards the end, I was like, all right, I need to just finish this because otherwise I'm not going to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was happy. Yeah, well, I was happy I did because I like the ending was cool and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like it's not like fantastic, but it definitely left it open for like another one kind of thing to continue on. Still fantastic.
Another one 20 years from now.
Yeah, that's if it goes into, you know what, for a game that was in complete development hell, that like what was produced was fantastic. You know what I mean? Like just with the whole backstory of that, like it's not the best game ever, but just knowing what that whole development cycle was like, it's just like, because they basically had a completed game at one point and then they fucking scrapped it. I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah, you know. So, anyways,
fucking wild.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been thinking about those kind of games. Like the problem I have with like they don't support what I think is like the big, at least for me, the biggest thing for the Steam Deck, and that easily like pick it up, play for 20 minutes, and put it down. You know what I mean? Because that's what I want out of that for the most part. You know what I mean?
What do you mean they don't support it?
Because you could do it, but it's kind of like jumping into Sea of Stars. Like you want at least like an hour and a half. So
you want to have a logical endpoint,
right? Yeah, like so you actually do something, or like Burnout, like just fucking do a race, 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like and then
pick it up, play it, put it down.
Yeah, and then it's just like, all right, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of that's kind of like the advantage of a lot of those games. I think that's part of the reason why I played a lot. Like I've probably put like not a lot, but like 3-4 hours just on the Steam Deck just playing fucking Burnout now. You know what I mean? It's just like
and
easy
to just pick up and play.
Oh yeah, and it's total turn your brain off, right? Like
yes, absolutely.
We're wrecking shit. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple races or whatever where you actually got to like pay attention, right? Because you're trying to outrace like the NPCs or whatever. But other than that, it's just like you come near me, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like that's just what the game is. It's such a good time,
motherfucker.
Yeah, such a good fucking time, man. Oh man, I just remember playing.
Very nice.
Oh, also Burnout 3 had like a lot of good fucking music. I think I want to say Good Charlotte's on there. Atreyu is on there. Just like a lot of like really popular bands at the time. You don't see that Eddie
right
like at all anymore. Like there's no fucking games that have like legitimate music on it. It's just like weird shit. So
if anything does, it's racing games, man. That's always been like the wheelhouse for racing games.
Yeah, dude. I don't play that. Honestly, I don't play that many. I can't like Gran Turismo and all that stuff.
I haven't for a while.
There's too much detail at this point. Like Forza,
it's a lot to wrap your brain around.
I don't know shit about cars in real life. I'm not gonna figure it out in a video game probably. Like,
I'll play Mario Kart. That's as close as I get.
Yeah. So, did we have anything else on the dock? I can't. I didn't write anything down.
One other thing I wanted to ask is, did you see the patents that Nintendo put out that may be for a Nintendo Switch 2 that feature a clamshell design?
I did. I did.
What did you think about that?
I think clamshell designs need to come back. I really do. I really wonder how they're gonna keep docking it though, with the clamshell design. Seems
weird.
Well, right, because like so me and Tim have talked about this. One of my biggest gripes about the Steam Deck is that the SD port doesn't have the micro SD port doesn't have a cover. Like it's just open.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, I don't like it, but also I think about this. When I think about the Steam Deck, I think about it in terms of if I don't have access to my actual PC, which is probably going to be on a deployment, right? It's just a spot where like dirt and shit can get into my fucking Steam Decks, right? But we talked about it, and he brought up the point that like it's for heat dissipation. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even think about that.
No.
Right? So when you think about the Nintendo Switch 2, if it is a clamshell, like how do you dock that without it being like super tall? Because if you close it to dock it, it's gonna heat up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so
I've seen some speculation that the second screen is going to detach and be like a controller while the other portion sits in the dock. I've seen all kinds of crazy stuff.
What, were they just remaking the Wii U but fancy? You know what I mean?
But better.
Because didn't the Wii U have that fucking controller with the screen on it and shit?
Yeah, which was fucking awesome.
What? I don't know.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was the only good Splatoon game because of that.
Huh.
I'll tell you right now.
Huh. I didn't know that. I never got on the, like, I played the Wii. I never played the Wii U. So
opposite for me.
Yeah. So what the hell was I gonna say? Yeah. So like that would actually be pretty dope, if I'm being honest. But
Tim in the chat. Oh, so you've been saying it wrong the whole time. It's not a Switch 2, it's a Switch U.
Oh my god. Shut the fuck up.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty cool. The only thing I'm hesitant about with the detachment piece is really like, so with like the Switch we have now, right? My left controller is not always secure, right? You know what I mean? Like it'll just unsecure itself. And then, and then the thing's like, oh, what controllers are you using? You know what I mean? So like, how, like if you're continuously docking and undocking it because you're using it all the time, right? Which is great. That's good that you're using it all the time. But like, doing that all the time? Is it going to start detecting the screen is not being connected? And then like, what do we do from there? You know what I mean? Like kind of,
Right. A lot of questions.
yeah, I do think that's a cool idea though. I really do. And it helped.
Yeah, it could be neat.
It's an immediate answer to the heat issue that I'm thinking of.
Mhm.
And Nintendo loves to do fucking weird shit like that. So that sounds like
Right.
it'd 100% be up their alley.
They're not going to make a new console unless it's got some weird shit going on, you know? That's just their
they're
thing.
the only. I mean, honestly, they're the only console company out of the big three that really tries weird shit. The other two don't. Other than, hey, did you see that? It's like legit that you have to fucking connect to the internet for your PS5 disc tray, the one that you can install separately.
Oh, you have to
connect to the
update
internet.
it.
You have to connect to the fucking internet. I don't know if it's permanent or not. I didn't find that out. But why the fuck? It's a disc tray.
To play physical media.
Like, what are we doing? Like, I just don't understand, dude. If this was 2013, PlayStation would be fucking getting burned to the ground, just like Xbox did. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, dude, did you see the comparison between the original PS5 and the Slim model?
Yeah.
It is so much slimmer.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I was surprised to see how much smaller that thing is.
I don't think it's
remarkable.
It is. I don't think anything that they talked about with that slim version it makes it anywhere near worth the money, though. Like, there's nothing that they've brought up.
I mean,
like,
if I were to buy one now, I might consider it, I guess. But
if you already
like
have one,
anyone who has the old version,
yeah, like
hell no.
I'd basically just play Madden on it sometimes.
The Madden box.
It really is the Madden box. Like, that's basically all I play.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Spider-Man and stuff came out, right? But like, I didn't play the first couple. Because you got me on a different rant. This is my rant that I fucking hate. Bundle your fucking games, so I will buy them. Like The Last of Us, bundle them, and I will buy them and play them. I am not paying you separately $70 for these fucking games now. Like, same thing with goddamn Spider-Man. Put Spider-Man and Miles Morales as a goddamn bundle, I will buy it and play it. But the fact that there's no bundles, just bundle it. Like, it's the thing I've been waiting on forever. Baby. Like, because it's like, oh, I'd like to play those games, but I refuse to spend that much money on that. Like, I'm not doing it. Like,
give it a couple years,
dude. The Last of Us. You know what they do instead? They just fucking remake them or remaster them. They don't bundle them. They just make them again. And I just don't understand.
That's super true.
That's why I'm frustrated. Like, when you, like, right around the time you would have thought like The Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2 would have came out as a bundle. It's like, nah, we just remade the first one. What? The game's Bastards. 5 years old. Like, what are we doing? I don't know, dude. I can't. Oh. It's one of the things
Tim, but that would break the virtuous cycle. Yeah, they'll never let that one down, dude. Shit.
Dude,
I get that tattooed.
Once again, because they look like really good games. They really do. I would love to spend time. Even if I didn't, my wife probably would, right? Because she's like a comic book nerd, kind of like not reading comic books, but she really likes like that kind of stuff. And yeah, man, I don't know. I just it frustrates me to no end. But speaking of comic books, the new Invincible season I think starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I never watched the first season, but it looked really good. That's on Prime, right?
Yes, watch. I don't recommend a lot of like comic book shit or whatever. Even Tim, like if you like what's that one? The Boys?
Yeah.
Dude, if you like that, it's the same thing.
It looks like it's like the same kind of vibe,
vein, but it's animated. And that first episode, I'll tell you what, the whole reason I got into it, have you seen the clips of Omni-Man fucking up all those guys?
No.
Oh, dude. Oh, watch the first episode. It is insane. Like, I saw the clips. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I bet you have seen it. You just don't remember because I remember sharing it in the chat, going, "What the fuck is this? Like, what is this?" And I found out what it was, and me and my wife watched it together. It is It is a adult and mature take on like superheroes, like, And like Omni-Man is basically the equivalent of like Superman, like just
Yeah.
so, and then the main character that you follow is his son. So it's just like
think.
Yeah, like I know I watched like a lot of anime and shit, but like that first season, if you like comic book shit, it's fantastic. It really is. And then the ending is brutal, man. Oh, like they're just killing civilians left and right. Like it's I'm not gonna tell you what leads up to that, but like yeah, dude, like it's just watch it.
I'll have to check it out. I just accidentally I forgot to turn off my recurring billing for Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So I've got another month of Netflix. It's like an idiot. But after that, I've got some stuff on Prime I definitely want to check out.
Have you watched the new Castlevania?
Yes. I kind of watched it off and on. I kind of lost interest in it, but Andrea watched all of it and I watched most of it.
Did she like it? Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, I the animation was amazing. I thought I really liked the like Aztec vampire guy.
Okay.
He's voiced by this actor I really like. Yeah, it's good. It just the main characters, it's kind of like a group of youths, a group of young people, which kind of like put me off of it a little bit. Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about Sea of Stars. Like I just don't like. It felt like a young adult version.
Yeah, too immature kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing those clips, and basically it's like your D&D monk just fighting vampires. I'm just like, I'm fucking here for this. Like I'm here for this. It looks great.
The fight scenes are incredible. The studio that animates that does an insanely good job. I definitely look forward to seeing more stuff from them. Yeah. Even if the characters didn't hook me quite as much in this one.
Right. Yeah. And I've only watched the first season of the original Castlevania they came out with. I watched part of the second season. Baller. Yeah, it's just the second season lost me because there's like a lot of talking. And I was like, I'm not here for the talking. Right? Like this isn't Mashoko
I'm here
Tensei.
for the blood.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. You want to hear? I'm gonna bring this up. No judgment, okay?
All right, no judgment, Kody.
Tim is gonna judge the fuck out of me. So Mashoko Tensei, right? Finished its second season recently, and I watched.
Could you explain what that is?
So Mashoko Tensei, it's an isekai. It's one of the original isekais, like in like manga or whatever. And the first season is really good. It's basically a dude who, in his normal life, right before he got isekai'd by Truck-kun or whatever, as the memes say.
Truck-kun?
Yeah. Normally when these guys happen or whatever, for whatever reason, they get ran over by a truck. So now it's called Truck-kun. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, he was like a degenerate though because he got like made fun of in school one time. Or some shit, or like got like bullied really severely, and then he was basically afraid to go outside, right? And then
like a NEET.
Yeah, he basically became a NEET. But then he ends up getting ran over, right? And he is like, if you want to think of like every bad thing that somebody would be as a NEET, like kind of like a degenerate and like thought processes are not good. You know what I mean? Very kind of doesn't respect women, like that whole line of thinking. Like, like he is not a good person.
Needs to touch grass so bad.
Right, not a good person. But like the first season, like he gets reincarnated and as a baby in like a fantasy world, right? And the first season's fantastic. They have really good plot twists. You see a lot of character growth, right? Because as he like young child basically. And there's a lot of fighting and stuff like that. The fighting is fucking fantastic. Like the animation is amazing. So that's basically what the first season is. The second season, and this is why I ask you not to judge me, because it's really good. There's a lot of talking, but the overarching storyline is he's 16, 15, 16, and he has ED, and he's trying to find a way to fucking cure it. Dude, like that's the overarching fucking storyline that's in the background of everything that's going on.
That's
right?
A quest.
Yeah, dude, it is insane, and it's literally an entire season. But I'll tell you what, the character growth that he goes throughout the season, there's not as much fighting
And
stuff
hopefully
like
the
that.
physical growth as well. Am I right?
Yeah, dude. I can get into why that happened, but I won't. But it's just
That's funny.
like it was like the weird. So if you look up Giguk, one of the guys who does like the trash taste stuff, he has like a video on like this is weird, but like he's stating like this is a weird storyline, but it really fit and it was really well done. But like you just say that in like a general
Out of
sense,
context,
yeah, like, and people are like, "What the fuck are you watching?" You know what I mean? And like, I get it. Like, I understand why people are like, "You're watching about a 15, 16-year-old boy with ED." Like, that's fucking weird, man. You know what I mean? It's just like
Understandable.
yeah,
Understandable.
like I get it. That's why I was like,
every anime has that arc that you can't really just talk about in public like that.
Yeah, and I'm out here saying on a fucking podcast, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but the show is really good. The show, I don't know how they made a lot of that stuff like not like the ED part, but like the character growth, right? Like they kept you engaged, right? Because it's way slower than the first season. Like there's like a little bit of fighting in the first couple of episodes, and that's really it. And then after that, they're like setting a bunch of stuff up for. Well, they're doing the second half of the second season starting in April or whatever. But like, it's just, I don't know. It's a really good show. Anyways, sorry, it's fantastic.
No, it's good. Love that.
It's not it's not Dragon Ball Z, where everybody's just trying to power up every 10 seconds.
Do you see what they're doing for Dragon Ball now? The next thing that's happening?
I saw something, but I didn't follow the rabbit hole.
The next series for Dragon Ball Super is going to revolve around turning all the characters into kids.
What? Chibi? Or straight up?
Yeah. Like some magic happens and they get reverted to children.
This sounds like Dragon Ball GT. That sounds
dude,
like a bad idea, like Dragon Ball GT.
God damn it!
That's exactly
literally that's what everyone
like.
has been saying is like, Mr. Toriyama, did you forget about GT? We've already been here.
Yeah.
It sucked. Why are you bringing us here again?
This is not good. This is not. Let's not.
It is such a huge like. Everyone's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like it's particularly egregious because he just like with the big Piccolo and Gohan movie, he like set it up to basically springboard away from Goku and like focus on these other characters. Right. Let's give Goten and Trunks some fucking screen time. Let's get Piccolo back in. Let's get Gohan in there. And now he's like, actually, everyone's a kid. Goku's the main character. He's got his stick again. Let's go. It's like, bro, why?
So they're making Dragon Ball? That sounds like.
Yeah,
you know what? They wouldn't be able to
definitely
show
have
as many
mixed feelings
shots as they did in Dragon Ball these days. I'm just saying.
That's funny. I was just talking to Tyrell about that when we were talking about One Piece, the Netflix adaptation of One Piece.
I heard that's
really good. It is really good. I definitely suggest checking it out. Really liked it.
Yeah.
But
Tim,
there's a character.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, Tim, you're listening. I've from what I've heard is that people who don't like anime and they watch the One Piece live action, it has made them want to watch the One Piece anime. Like it's not like Cowboy Bebop where it was like, oh, it's like, oh, this is actually really fucking good. I wonder how this story continues. Oh, I can watch the 1,000+ anime episodes that there are for this show. Like it's like a never-ending fucking content wave at that point. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, Andrea watched it, and she's never watched the anime or read the manga or anything, and she was definitely interested. But yeah, there's a character that's going to be coming up in One Piece if they